Back. Thanks for joining me. I started painting about 20 minutes ago and suddenly realized, wait a minute, this is a good teaching moment. I'm calling it roughing in local color. Local color in the art world for some crazy reason. Why do they call it local color? I don't know. Local color means roses are red, violets are blue, grass is green, sky is blue, whatever color the thing is. And by the way, for an artist, all those things are not true. You understand that, right? But when we say local color, that's what we mean. A red shirt is red. If you're an artist, a red shirt has every color in the world hitting it. Anyway, but now we're talking about this simple sort of coloring book mentality of local color. And if you want to see the precursor to this video, go back to yesterday, Daily Art Adventure number 245, where I have 3 or 4 episodes where I'm modifying this painting I did a couple weeks ago. And I added, this character is completely new, this one's new, these 3 people are new, and this one is modified, and so on. Just a lot of changes, but the biggest changes are going to be in the realm of play of light, which of course is the most important thing. But we're not there yet. Right now, I'm just doing local color, and this is a fairly new development for me. If you've been following my videos lately, I've been calling it the fuzz layer, F-U-Z-Z, the fuzz layer. And one of the things I do in the fuzz layer is paint everything fuzzy. That's why I call it the fuzz layer. Translucent, as you can see through it somewhat, like you can see through this red. This is brand new red paint that I just put on there. You can see through it. It's fuzzy and it's local color. And right now I'm focusing on the local color aspect of it. And I want you to be able to see how I'm doing this, because I do think it is instructive. It's working very well. So let's take, for instance, this guy's trousers over here. In reality, they were blue jeans, and I think I'll keep them blue. I've got an awful lot of blue clothing going on here, but of course that's realistic. That's the color people were wearing. I don't care that that's realistic. What I care is that it creates a good painting, but I think a dull dark blue is okay for here. So just how I'm doing this. Here's what I want you to see. I would like you to not only see the way I'm painting, if you want to be a better painter, unless you're already better than me, then ignore all this. Why are you watching me? Paint like me, and unless you're already better than me, then paint like somebody else. Paint like yourself. Okay, I've just put on some darker blue on this brush. Of course, the first thing you'll notice, I'm using 2 hands. I'm getting more ornery about this as the years go by. I started painting with 2 hands about 12 years ago. You've heard the story. I started for crazy reasons. I won't go into that now. But I instantly started painting better, even though my left hand was completely uncoordinated. Couldn't do anything, but I painted better. Now, of course, my left hand is fairly coordinated. And here's my latest thing, because I really feel like, I mean, if I could start a revolution getting artists to use both hands, that would be a good reason for living. I believe artists ought to be using both hands. Absolutely. I mean, well, that's why I'm getting more ornery. I used to just be real gentle and say, well, maybe, give it a try. Nuh-uh. And especially you young people. Is anybody young watching me? Use both hands. There is no option for you. There's no option. Now listen to me. Here's my ornery part. Do you ever go to a concert, music concert? You see a guitar player up on the stage playing guitar or piano or drums? Nobody in the audience goes, golly, that guy's using 2 hands. You with me? Your left hand, your wrong hand, whichever one it is, can be taught to do whatever you teach it to do. And I just think us artists have we've just gotten lazy somehow. I don't know how to explain that. But if you paint with 1 hand, you've got 1/2 your brain tied behind your back. That's my opinion now. And like I said, I'm getting more ornery about it. So use 2 hands. I could talk a lot more, but I won't. Okay, let's do a little bit of flesh tone here. Again, local color. So I'm mixing up some transparent oxide red, which is a brown, right? It's called red, but it's brown. and some white, of course, and a little bit of yellow, golden ochre, transparent golden ochre. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't try to imitate my recipe. You just create a color. Okay, so here's a kid. Actually, I want that child to be African American, but I'm going to do some of this lighter stuff on him anyway. And again, I want you to see, because most of you will be going, dang, I can't paint that messy. Yes, you can. And if you use your wrong hand, it's even easier to paint messy. This girl needs some work. You understand that this is not the last word on my painting, right? This is not the last layer on any of this. There's going to be a lot more painting on all of this stuff that I'm doing, this crazy stuff to right now. I'm doing things besides flesh tone, as you can see. Let's go up here to these people. Can you still see me? I hope you can. Mother, father, little girl, maybe, something like that. Here's another man that needs a little bit more flesh tone. What I'm doing right now, fuzzing in local color, actually overlaps with another principle, has to do with doing figures in a landscape painting. So, in fact, this painting is almost a figurative painting. The main thing in this painting is people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. It's almost a figurative painting, but not quite. I consider it a landscape with figures. And whenever you're doing a landscape with figures, one of the key principles is keep your figures fuzzy, so that they look like they have movement. Real people don't stand still. See, I'm wiping my nose because real people don't stand still. Real people fidget and fuss and move and do all kinds of stuff all the time. Okay. Let me do just a little bit more. How about a little bit of purple clothing in here? So I'm mixing up purple and white. And I've got one girl in a purple shirt way over here. Either this man or one of these two adults. I'm trying to decide. Oh, this man has a slight purple too. Actually, I'm going to go with that. There we go. I like that better. There is no question that me, myself, I tend to exaggerate or push the color that people are wearing in a painting, in a festival like this. Because I want it to feel like a festival. I want it to feel colorful. So I actually exaggerate the colors that people are wearing. Now, this guy, can he wear purple too? Nope. That would be too much. I'm almost done here, almost done this demonstration. I've done the main thing I want you to see. Roughing in local color. Keep it messy. Now, I consider, like this character who is new, I consider him to have almost no light effects, no play of light. There's going to be a lot of play of light on him. And right now there's none. I call this, even though that's brighter, yeah, but not really. There's going to be light hitting that, so it's going to be nearly white there, and so on, hitting the side of this boy. So this is not play of light. We haven't approached that yet. Again, that's another subject for another video, maybe today, I don't know. Just decided I want to do this little girl's hair in a brown, and since I've got this brown, maybe I should make one of these shirts up here, orange brown. Yep. I know my music's a little bit loud this morning. I hope it's not irritating. It's because I got a whole lot of family noise going on in the background. For those of you who don't know, my wife and I have 4 grandchildren, ages 7, 4, 3, and 1, living with us right now. We're loving it, but it doesn't make for nice, quiet videos. So I've turned up my music in here just a little bit to cover up the family noise from the other room. So So one of the reasons you make figures loose, very, very loose, soft edges, is so that it begins, before you go any further, it begins to convey the feeling of motion. Tell you what, there's one other thing I can do here before I leave this. Let me start this as well, and that is to start painting around some of these people, so that I'll begin to, for instance, this man's arm moved from here to here, so there's a quarter inch of his old arm still showing, and I have just eliminated that. I hope that kind of makes sense to you. And since I've got this light yellow gold color on my brushes, I'm just using it to begin. And same thing here. His arm moved from here to here, so I'm going to finish that moving process by... You never let the spirit of eraser come on you. You don't get angry at the wrong line and say, why did I make that wrong marker? You're going to fix it? No. In fact, you can still see, I'm going to exaggerate, you can still see that wrong line. In fact, that's a little bit better right there with that after I scratched it. If you let the grumpy self-judgment erase spirit, I call it the spirit of eraser, which is a grumpy spirit, if it comes on you, then you start painting very poorly. So don't ever start castigating yourself like, why did I do that? I'm so stupid. I'm a bad painter. And that's how you feel if you do. But you never go that way. As an artist, you make corrections, you do things, but you just don't get grumpy about it. As I like to say to my students, I was like, witness my distress. Okay. Well, I just decided I could do one more thing. Hey, I am about to launch a more intentional teaching program. You'll get a bunch of it for free, but if you want the whole shebang, it'll be like a 1 or 2 year program. Will probably be a 1 year program. If you want the whole thing, of course, you have to pay for it, and it'll be very, very intensive, very comprehensive, a year-long, week-by-week, month-by-month lesson. And I'm trying to decide what to call it, okay? I'm going to tell you guys, whoever's watching, both of you who are watching right now, I'm thinking of calling it Painting with Dan Nelson, and a subtitle, The Joyful Art, or the Joyful Artist Journey. Okay, Painting with Dan Nelson, semicolon, Painting with Dan Nelson, the Joyful Artist Journey. And I think that sort of reflects me kind of accurately. Now, I'd love your feedback. Tell me if you think that's a good title or a terrible title. I would like people to go, ooh, I want to be a joyful artist, and follow me because of that. I don't want people going, how pretentious can you get? That's just, I hate that kind of stuff. I can imagine somebody saying, and I don't want to, anyway, I hope people don't feel that way, but, if you feel that way, let me know, because maybe there's a whole bunch of you that agree with you. Maybe some of you don't want to be joyful, huh? Is that your problem, huh? I'm talking to you here. If this is your first video with me, I'm really sorry. I'm not always funny. Sometimes I just try to be. Okay, do you see there's a little bit of light happening on this guy now? While I was at it, did a little bit of light over there. Okay, I'm getting carried away now. Let's just keep going. Let's do a little bit of light on everybody. And okay, I'm spilling over now into another principle. So this is, if you sign up for my course, you're going to get hundreds of these, but it categorized and in order. Right now, I'm just jumping all over the board. Here's another one. When you are in the realm of opaque painting, I want that to sink in, first of all. When you are in the part of your painting process that involves opaque painting. Now, hang on. For some of you, you paint opaque from the get-go. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who understand the way I paint, which is painting is layers and layers and layers of transparency finished up by a couple layers of opaque. So in my world, it's the last two layers when you're talking opaque. Here it is. When you're in the opaque realm, that is, you've entered now the last two stages of opaque, it's almost always a good idea to put a slightly lighter shade of color on top of what you've just put. For instance, here's a guy in a dull purple shirt. Got it? And I just mixed up a dull pinkish purplish color. It's slightly lighter than what's already there. And watch this. This is going to look awesome. That's all. I just put a slightly lighter color. Now, having done that, can I do it again? Absolutely. Watch. I'm going to do it again. It's almost always a good idea, almost always looks good to put and the word slightly is very important, almost always a good idea to put a slightly lighter shade of color on top of what's already there. Now this only pertains to see, I just did it again. Do you see each layer is getting a little bit smaller? If you follow me, you'll see this over and over and over again. By the way, I don't use any cobalts or cadmiums because evidently I literally can't keep my fingers out of my paint. So, okay, that's good enough. I've given you 3 big principles: fuzzing in local color, light on top of light, and doing figures loose so that they look like they're moving. More layers to go on all of this, but I'm quite happy with the way it's going. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments so I can answer your questions later on. I'll be back again, hopefully later today. Thank you, guys. Hey, I'm reading your comments. Thanks, Heather. And there was one before that from, whoa, okay, wait. I didn't know I could look at these. 10X. You know what? I'm just discovering something right now. Can I turn you guys around and still read what I'm, okay. I didn't know that your comments were still accessible before I turn you off. Hello again, Dan. Hi, Heather. Absolutely love your paintings. I've tried to paint like you, but fortunately fall short. Keep trying, Kathy. Keep trying, and maybe my course might be for you. Good. It's good. I am 10 actually watching. Glad to hear it. Sounds fun. I like the title. Thank you, Barbara. One of my regulars. Bless you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Bob Ross was called The Joy of Painting. I forgot that completely. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so maybe it is too close to the joyful artist journey. I think it's far enough from Bob Ross. Thanks for reminding me of that, though. Much better than the grumpy artist journey. Thank you, Ilko. Where are you from, Ilko, by the way? You sound Dutch. Is that a Dutch name? Brunsma? Northern European, anyway, eh? Thanks for watching. And Nellie, we need some place to communicate about Dan's method of painting. Wow, great idea, Nellie. I'm going to work on that. I am absolutely going to need to work on that. Okay, I'm going to talk to my technical friend advisor about how to do that. Okay, wouldn't surprise me to find that Joyful Painting's already trademarked. Yeah, very, very possible. So, but maybe Joyful Artist Journey. Toby, the opaque stage is hard. I tend to kill the energy. Yes. You're exactly right, Toby. That's why I keep saying when I teach, in the opaque stage, I only allow you to cover up 10 to 15% of the canvas. Did you hear that? Only 10 to 15%, and I give a lot more details. You're exactly right. That's what most students do. Absolutely, Hugo. That's great. Dutch, eh? Thank you. I have several friends in Holland that watch me often. Ilko, thanks for joining us. Janice, first time writing in. Thank you for looking forward to watching more. Great, thanks. I don't know if you realize, I just learned something right now about Facebook. I'm going to make this a regular part of my broadcast. I didn't know I could come back here. The comments disappear, and I don't see them. But it turns out if I touch my screen, they come back up. So, I don't know why I didn't learn that years ago. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll be back hopefully later on today.